the stigmatization around mental well-being. People, one, don't understand it, or two, they don't know how to define it very well. And that creates a space where as employees, you're not able to communicate. If you're not well, if you're not in an environment that you feel comfortable and safe to work, how can we begin creating spaces that people can, one, be able to speak up when they're feeling like they're not in a comfortable space? What strategies can we put in place to ensure we create, environments that are safe for everyone to work?
Yeah, that's definitely a very great question, and also a very big problem, right? So I think the first instance that's an actual barrier is that we don't think of mental health as actual health, right? The moment that we actually understand the fact that it has mental health, then we start to realize that you can actually be ill, you can be sick, right? And I always give this example where, for example, if you're in an accident and you cannot move your arms or your legs and you're literally in a hospital bed like this, your boss will come and say sorry, and they'll be like, I understand that you're out of commission for 3 months, but if you came to a hospital and you just seen you on a bed sitting there, they'll be like, boss, what are you doing? Wake up, let's go back to the office, right? I think when we start to really understand and break down the complexities of, first and foremost, you must be present mentally to even get the capacity for someone to be a productive person in the work environment, right? And I think, again, Warenga alluded to this earlier on. If you're just present but you're not there, right? And to the extent that people might actually be absent or not in the workplace, once we're able to break down those barriers from a mental point of view and understand that, listen, it's something that we should actually speak about, it's something that we should share with our co-workers and our bosses, then we can really begin to break down the barriers. And to that point, I don't think we even talk about it at all. I was going to say we don't talk about it enough, but we don't even actually talk about it at all. So I think the first thing that we need to break down in our ecosystems is us as employers really trying to understand what that means, and as people who are in employment, to really have that transparency, to have that understanding, to have that openness to actually spark and begin those conversations.
When you understand, when you get to a place where now you can tell the signs, you can tell presenteeism, you can tell people who are overworking just because they want to job security. I want to be seen working so that I don't lose my job. You can tell absenteeism, you can tell quiet quitting. What are some of the solutions, and this is for you, Stacey, what are some of the solutions you can come up with to offer support once you've noticed some of these things?
Other than just the employee feeling safe enough to come up and say, oh, this is what I'm struggling with, and I take time off, I think the onus is also on the leaders or the owners of the business to model that behavior. Because if my boss is sending me an email at 2 a.m. and telling me, don't worry, you don't need to be working up to 2 a.m. and every day he's working until 2 a.m., I'm going to feel the pressure, because he'll be doing, of course, his output is going to be a lot higher than what I'm bringing to the table. So if, as the business owners or as the leaders in the business, the first thing is to model what you're telling your employees that they can do, then they too will feel safe enough to be able to do it. The second thing I would say is to create a space where people can come to you. All right, so this starts by honest conversation. So before we start a meeting and my boss asks me, how are you doing? And like we were told today, if I just say fine, if you push a little bit further and say, no, really, how are you doing? Tell me about your kids, or tell me what you're passionate about. I think today you were asked, what did you learn in the last 2 weeks? Such conversations enable the employee to be able to feel that, this person genuinely cares about me.